Hi, I'm Barry. Here we have all the various tools and equipment that we're going to need to enable us to wallpaper this wall over here. I'm just going to run through the equipment with you. So here we've got not a pair of scissors but a pair of shears. Okay, make sure you get some good quality ones of these, especially at the very end where we need to snip the paper on some of the delicate cuts. Obviously a tape measure, these are going to measure our lengths. A stirring stick, that's for our paste. A paper hanging brush. And this isn't just to remove air bubbles, right? This is just to help us apply it to the wall. A retractable knife. Okay. Some spare blades, but more importantly we've got a plastic container here, and any of the offcuts that we get of these blades we're going to store them in here and then dispose of them responsibly. A corking board, okay, which we've used in the past for filler, and I'm just going to take the edges off that with a little bit of sandpaper or abrasive, otherwise it's going to dig into the paper, and again we're going to use that for cutting. Obviously the paste table, get a good quality one, okay, one that's going to be quite strong. Okay. A spirit level. Okay, and it's important that you get a double, what we call a double bubble spirit level. Okay, so that's going to help when we do our verticals. And then we've got a paint scuttle, a kettle and a clean sponge. Okay. And then we've got rollers and our lining paper here, and I'll go through that in a different section. So one of the first things we're going to look at is actually how to mix some paste up. Now we're just using the Solvite paste today. This general all-purpose, just perfect for putting lining paper up. Okay, so a little bit of health and safety here. Okay, this contains fungicide. It says on there. Protect the adhesive. What this does is, once it's, say for instance we've got a solvent-based paint on the wall and it's not drying properly, you can get mould growing underneath it. And we don't know we know what's on there, but we don't know when we go in customers' houses what's been put on the walls beforehand. But it says there, keep children and animals and wash hands. Sorry, keep children and animals away and wash hands after use. So let's mix this paste up. So I'm going to do it wrong for you so you can see what you don't want. Again, a lot of painters, they bite it and then they're going to get the fungicide and it's going to go and it gives you quite a nasty tummy. Okay, amongst other things. So don't get bite in it. So let's just cut the corner off. Okay. So when we're mixing paste, we need to agitate the water first. Okay, so we'll give it a good stir. So on this occasion, although it breaks my heart, I'm not going to do it on this Solvite. I'm just going to tip it straight in, and you're going to see the problems that we're going to face. Okay, so we want our mix to be lump free. So let's just give that a minute. You can see it's just all sunk to the bottom, and what it's actually done, it just lumped all together, and obviously that's of no use whatsoever. We'll just give that a quick stir and see what happens to it. There you can see it. Just one big sort of lump. And we can't use that. And there's nothing we could do to actually to make that usable. So it's very, very simple to mix paste. Follow the instructions on the back of the packet. On this occasion it says for lining paper we need 7 litres of cold water for this particular product. Okay, so sometimes the paste can go quite thick, but what you can't do, if it's too thin, if you try and add more paste to it, it's going to get lumpy again. So mix it so it's quite thick, and then you can add some water to it afterwards. So I'm going to use this in a scuttle. And again, always follow manufacturer's instructions. So let's agitate our water. Gently pour it in. Right, so we'll give that 5 minutes for it to thicken up, and then we'll come back to it and compare it. been a few minutes now, and again it says that we should be using 7 litres of water per packet of paste, but again for demonstration purposes we only put 6 litres in. So you can see that that's quite thick. Okay, so it's probably just a bit too, so we need to add at least 1 litre of water. Okay, so we'll do that in a second. Let's just bring this one up that we didn't mix properly. Let's just have a look at the state of it. Okay. So you can compare the two. Okay, so that's nicely mixed, there's no lumps in there. Okay, now have a look at this one. Okay, there's all sorts. Okay, so obviously that's of no use. And then what I'll do, I'll just grab one of these and I'll break it in half for you. Obviously I'm going to wash my hands afterwards. Okay, so let's just have a look inside it, and you can see that there's still paste that hasn't been mixed. And again, if we were to try and wallpaper with this, it's not going to stick to the wall, and then you're going to see these lumps and bumps underneath your finished product. And again, we don't want that. Okay, so let's just give this my hands a rinse. Okay, so we're just going to add a little, just about 1 litre of water into here. Make sure there's no lumps on that part. And again, as I mentioned before, if I was to try and add paste to it, it's just going to go lumpy. So start off with a thick paste first if you don't mix it right. That looks much better. Okay, so that's now ready for us to apply to the back of our wallpaper.